And good evening. Just as we promised, here we are. This is Al Concepts Media, and I am Alan Herbert, and this is a start of a new exciting journey where every other Monday we are going to be coming to you, and we're going to be bringing you politics that is going to be happening and taking center stage throughout the week. Now, a little bit about myself. You know a little bit about me, but I am a journalist, and I am the kind that likes to have different conversations about different subject matters, and one of the topics that I like dwelling in or delving into is politics. And this is what we're going to be bringing you every other Monday. And I am not going to be alone. I have a gentleman that is joining me. We will skip the pleasantries of how we met, but I will give him the opportunity to introduce himself. Boni, karibu sana, and kindly introduce yourself.
Asante. My name is Boniface Birikwa. I have a bachelor's in economics, and I'm very passionate about politics. I am the leader of a grassroots group called Special Team Building Cohesion that is fostering positive ethnicity and just getting the youth to know about politics and everything to do with to make the youth, mostly the youth, to understand what politics means and to interpret what it means to the ground and what these politicians are up to and etc. And this, I bet I'm going to enjoy the whole thing.
Absolutely, and what better person to talk to than an economist at this point in our country, and who better to talk to a person who is an organizer of not only resources, you can look at resources in different dimensions. People can also be resources, and as we have seen in the current political happenings, the youth are the biggest resource in our country currently, because every politician is swinging them in their own direction. So I believe Boni is the right person to be having these conversations with. So today we're going to be looking at some of the utterances that have been made by politicians this Monday morning, but also we're going to be giving you a bit of background on how we are coming to this particular conversation this evening. Boni, what did you make of the happenings in the political sphere over the weekend, and of course after seeing what happened during last week's Mandamano on Wednesday?
Well, I can say our country is currently facing something that we've never faced before.
Yes.
Where we have a stalemate between these two bigwigs.
Yes.
And at the center of it all are common wananchis, are the youth, are the elderly.
Yes.
And we are facing a kind of a situation that we cannot get ourselves out of.
Yes.
And in the midst of all this, you find that we have an economic crisis. A crisis that is eating our people. People are dying out of starvation. People are dying out of hunger. People are dying because they're lacking resources to go on with their normal daily activities. So what I'm gathering from these politicians is that, one, we are not put at their forefront in terms of what they want to achieve or the successes that they should have. Because at the center of it all, we need to speak about the Mwananchi. And the conversation around these people right now is who and who is the bigwig, you know? And this is what now we need to diverge into, to try and make people understand what is happening and what these people are up to. Yes.
Somewhere in the morning, when I was hosting a TV show on the media station that I work with, I asked a fellow pundit, and I asked him, the question went as, we might know to some extent if the two proponents, that is the president and the former prime minister, if they came on the table, we know what it would mean for the country.
Yeah,
that it would mean peace, that it would mean stability.
Right, yes.
But then the question that we need to ask ourselves, and what I would like you to talk to us about, what is there for them to lose if they come onto the same table? Because probably this is where the stallment is, because we are not talking about it. Probably this is where the problem is. If we are able to talk about what is each of these parties losing, and we talk to them and say, okay, we know you're losing this, we know you're losing this, but could you look beyond yourselves and what you're losing and put the Kenyan first?
Well, I will say this. First of all, if we're looking at the presidency,
yes,
and we have a new president in town. Of course, it's barely a year right now, and he's trying to acquaint himself with governing and all these things around that. So our president, when he is looking at making a handshake with the opposition leader, he's picturing it as some sort of weakness to himself. These are the things that he was against in the previous regime. He's claiming that these are the things that threw him out of the government. He's also claiming that these are the same things that made him to or made the government to abandon the Big Four agenda. So when we're looking at the presidency and the people around the president, we're looking at a party that is saying that we have full capacity in terms of governance. We don't need your help in this. And I remember the president once tried to extend some olive branch to the opposition leader and say that you can be the official opposition leader and we can give you a platform.
Through parliament.
Through parliament. And the official opposition leader did not like that because in his side, in the Azimio side, we have people also who are in government. And we all know that they expected to win these elections, the past elections. And it is unfortunate that abruptly they didn't win. And all these expectations and all the candor that came with it was lost. And now they're trying to regain a foot into what they're going to represent in the next 5 years. And of course, if you want to govern, then if you want to win, then your opponent must lose.
Absolutely.
So that is what is happening right now between these two people.
You've spoken extensively about what the president has got to lose, and which is that I would wholesomely call it control over government. But extensively, what do you think the opposition got to lose? Because if you say that they lost the election in 2022, and you're not just saying, that is as the fact, that is as how it stands. But what has the opposition leader got entirely to lose?
Well, if you look at the opposition leader, well, their aim is to get a foothold in some of the political scape in this country, to get maybe some special treatment from the government, because that is what they have been having in the past regime, right? But now we have a government that has thrown them completely in the cold, and they are saying that this is where you belong, and this is what you are supposed to do. They are dictating. I remember a friend of mine told me that, you know, the government, they even controlling how they want them to oppose the government. So we have kind of a confusion of what the opposition should do, because if they're trying to oppose and the government is not accepting the opposition, now the opposition is wondering what to do.
What do we need to do?
Exactly.
All right. then I would say we find ourselves in a catch-22 situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, but as we're continuing and as we're escalating the conversation today, the wabunge wa muungano wa Azimio wafanya mkutano siku mbili kabla ya maandamano. And last week, the Azimio leader and some of the Azimio leaders said that this week they will be hosting, or they will be having maandamano 3 days a week. And today they have met to deliberate partly of what they will be doing in those 3 days. As our producer is working to play that soundbite for us, what do you make of the 3-day maandamano, and what would that mean for Kenyans?
Well, 3 days is a lot.
Yes.
It is a lot. Because we had this periodical maandamanos that were weekly,
Yeah.
then we had twice a week, and we know the cost that these maandamanos have
Yeah.
for the country.
Yeah.
Well, we are looking at a situation where the opposition is giving a stalemate to the government and saying that this is our position.
Yeah.
And this position has to be met. If you don't meet this position, then the country is going to be on a standstill.
Yeah.
Nothing is going to move. Yeah. So when you say maandamano is going to be 3 days a week,
Yes.
that is literally paralyzing the country, because you have 5 days to work.
Yeah.
For most people, even working in government, we have 5 days to work.
Yeah.
When you say that you're going to start maandamano on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday,
Yeah.
definitely you're saying that you're going to work only for 2 days, and the rest of the 3 days you're going to
Gonna
just
be on the streets.
busy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the opposition is literally telling the government that you have to listen to us. If you don't listen to us, then nothing will move.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let's hear what the MPs had to say, and from that we could pick 1 or 2 things to add onto this conversation.
Will take place on Wednesday, on Thursday, and Friday. And if people are uncomfortable with that, I have a solution for them. Bring down the cost of living today. And we will not be on the streets on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I thank you.
Ken Chonga.
Wakenya wenzangu, ukweli wa mambo ni kwamba chenye Mheshimiwa Ruto hajaelewa ni kuwa msukumo huu, maandamano haya si vita baina ya Ruto na Raila. Maandamano haya, msukumo huu umeletwa kwa sababu hali ya maisha haiwezi ikakidhika tena. Mwenye alisimama na Ruto, mwenye alisimama na Raila, wote leo shida ni zile zile moja. Na Ruto, mimi nataka kumwambia kitu kimoja. Serikali ambayo haiwezi ikatetea wengi ambao ni wanyonge, haitaweza kutetea wachache walio watajiri. Wale ambao wanalia njaa leo, wawe ni Azimio, wawe ni Kenya Kwanza, ni wale wanyonge.
Top of the call from Azimio leaders is bringing down the cost of living. How viable is this conversation?
Well, it's
From an economist point of view, how viable? And I was reading some of your tweets I think a week or 2 ago,
Yeah.
and you were saying, how does maandamano then bring down the cost of living? But then also, if the government is not listening, then what really happens?
well, the cost of living is not a switch
Yeah.
that you're going to just press.
Turn on and off.
Yes, and then the unga will be around 99. No.
Yeah,
It has a lot of things to factor in.
yeah,
And we have to be frank with ourselves and say that the cost of living did not start when the president took office.
yes,
It was there before. What the president just did is to remove the subsidies
Yeah.
that were in place. And now the removal of the subsidies is what made the costs of unga, the cost of these basic things to go up.
yes,
And when we are assessing this matter of cost of living, we have to understand and look at the economy of the globe
Yeah.
currently. We have to assess all the factors that lead to the increase of cost of living.
yeah.